In the clash of swords and shields, an empire spanning 3 continents proudly arose. From a small city-state on the banks of the Tiber to the absolute master of the Mediterranean, the Roman legions proved their undisputed dominance through 5 centuries of conquest. Today, we shall unlock the secrets of this most formidable ancient army through 9 key elements. 1. National character, the perfect balance of austerity and inclusiveness. The Roman people emerged from the agricultural civilization of the Apennine Peninsula, possessing both the resilience of mountain dwellers and the openness of maritime cultures. This unique duality manifested in their preservation of Latin simplicity and martial tradition, while eagerly absorbing the city-state system of the Etruscans and the philosophical wisdom of the Greeks. As historian Livy described, Romans absorbed the essence of their defeated enemies like a sponge, adopting the close combat tactics of the Samnites after defeating them, and integrating Phoenician naval technology after conquering Carthage. This cultural inclusiveness transformed Rome from a federation of city-states into a diverse empire, though it also planted the seeds of decline. As early as the 2nd century BCE, Cato the Elder warned, "The day luxury corrupts our simple virtues shall mark the beginning of the empire's downfall." 2. Civic spirit, the steel backbone forged in honor. The 2 words Roman citizen once constituted the most precious identity in the ancient world. The early republic's naturalization policy, allowing defeated peoples to gain citizenship while preserving their customs, created a unique cultural gravity. Cicero proudly proclaimed, "Wherever our legions march, they sow the seeds of civilization." This sense of superiority rapidly collapsed after the Edict of Antoninus. When Emperor Caracalla cheaply granted citizenship to all free men in 212 CE, he diluted not only the privilege of status, but also the spiritual cohesion that had endured for centuries. The historian Cassius Dio noted, "After the edict, those who fought for honor in the army became fewer, while those who served merely for pay increased daily." 3. Military evolution, the path of wisdom from imitation to transcendence. The history of Roman armaments stands as a chronicle of technological integration. The Spanish sword, Gladius, was refined into a fearsome close combat weapon, becoming the signature of Roman forces. Carthaginian ship designs inspired the Corvus boarding bridge tactics. Even Gallic chainmail was modified into the more flexible Lorica Hamata armor. This learning capacity reached its zenith during the Punic Wars. Romans with no naval experience used reverse engineering to build 220 quinqueremes within 2 years, ultimately defeating the maritime powerhouse Carthage at the Battle of Mylae. 4. Unique organization, a precisely layered war machine. Each Roman legion functioned as a meticulously designed killing machine. Approximately 5,000 men divided into 10 cohorts. The first cohort consisted of 5 double-strength sentries, about 160 men each, while the remaining 9 cohorts each had 6 sentries of about 80 men. With the smallest tactical unit subdivided to 8-man tent groups. This modular structure granted commanders astonishing tactical flexibility, capable of deploying in the standard triple-line formation, the triplex aces, or rapidly conducting assaults by small unit actions. This organizational versatility made the Roman army virtually invincible in battle. 5. Severe military law, the dual motivation of fear and desire. Roman military camps operated on a brutal yet effective philosophy of punishment and reward. Deserters would be crucified, while the first soldier to scale an enemy wall could receive a gold crown weighing 1.5 kilograms. This extreme system was vividly illustrated in Caesar's Gallic Wars, recording both entire legions permanently disbanded for cowardice and soldiers sacrificing themselves to save comrades in pursuit of the corona civica, civic crown. Modern calculations suggest that a Republican-era soldier's expected spoils of war equated to approximately $100,000 today, with retirement land grants often exceeding 50 hectares. Simultaneously, Roman forces implemented the infamous decimation, selecting 1 man from every 10 by lot to be executed by his remaining comrades, a severity that ensured absolute obedience to military law throughout the legion. 6. Equipment revolution, standardized weapon production. The Roman army's equipment was impressive, particularly the short sword, Gladius, javelin, Pilum, and large shield, Scutum. However, these weapons were not Roman inventions, but rather improvements on technologies learned from enemies. For example, the Roman short sword originated from the Iberian Peninsula before being refined into a lethal close combat weapon. More significantly, Rome possessed vast workshops capable of mass-producing high-quality weapons with consistent specifications, enhancing combat effectiveness. This industrialized logistical support system provided the Roman army with a solid material foundation. Archaeological discoveries at weapon workshops along the Rhine reveal Rome's military-industrial revolution. Arrowheads produced with standardized molds showed less than 2 mm variance, while armor plates were riveted with uniformly specified bronze pins. This industrial mindset enabled legions to establish mobile arsenals at the front. Wooden tablets unearthed at Vindolanda in Britain show that one fortress repaired 1,200 short swords and 600 helmets in just 3 months. 7. Tactical revolution, evolution from phalanx to combined arms. Roman military tactics continuously evolved during warfare, demonstrating remarkable flexibility and adaptability. From the initial phalanx formation to the later three-line formation, manipular legion, and then to the cohort system following Marius's reforms, the Roman army consistently adjusted to circumstances. The Battle of Sentinum in 295 BCE marked the maturation of Rome's triple-line formation. The Triarii spear phalanx repelled enemy charges, the Hastates' coordinated javelin volleys disrupted opposing formations, and the Principes' thrusting swords tore through weakened points to destroy enemy forces. The triple line evolved further after the catastrophic defeat to Hannibal at Cannae. Scipio's pioneering cohort tactics at the Battle of Zama enabled each 480-man unit to independently execute complex maneuvers like flanking and encirclement, while increasingly powerful cavalry and archers made Roman military might unstoppable. 8. The logistical miracle, military supply through the empire's arteries. Rome's logistical system functioned as an ancient version of blitzkrieg support. A 200,000-kilometer road network enabled standard supply movements of 30 kilometers daily, while grain fleets on the Moselle River could deliver 400 tons of wheat monthly. Archaeologists discovered soldier ration lists on the Germanic frontier showing each man received 3,500 daily calories, including smoked meat, cheese, and vitamin-fortified sour wine. This capacity for mobile civilization allowed Emperor Trajan to sustain 12 legions in combat 2,000 kilometers from Rome on the Dacian front. While most of Rome's opponents still relied on plunder for supplies, Roman legions often needed only to hold defensive positions until their enemies collapsed from resource depletion. Furthermore, Roman armies excelled in camp construction and engineering. A single legion could establish a complete defensive fortress within hours, equipped with granaries, repair shops, and medical stations. Caesar's bridge building across the Rhine remains an engineering marvel to this day. 9. The professionalization trap, Imperial twilight under a double-edged sword. From the late Republic through the Imperial period, the Roman army gradually underwent a professional transformation. Marius's reforms in 107 BCE eliminated property qualifications, allowing the propertyless to enlist with state-provided equipment and wages. Service terms extended to 20 to 25 years, with retiring soldiers receiving land or other rewards. The professionalized Roman army crushed tribal forces with overwhelming power. But Marius's reforms, while creating the professional military legend, also planted seeds of destruction. When service terms extended from 1 year to 25, soldiers naturally transferred loyalty from the Senate to generals who paid their wages. Civil wars erupted accordingly, and Augustus's establishment of the Praetorian Guard, intended to check military strongmen, instead created history's first military privileged class. According to Tacitus, Praetorian annual salaries reached 750 denarii, triple that of common soldiers. Eventually, the Praetorian Guard began deposing and appointing emperors, plunging the Roman Empire into even more terrible crises. The system that conquered the world with iron discipline was ultimately consumed by its own specialization. From Napoleon's code to West Point's doctrines, the ghost of the Roman legion continues to influence modern warfare. As we marvel at their military achievements, we should remember Cato the Elder's admonition. The empire's strength lies not in the height of its walls, but in the purity of its civic spirit. This once invincible army ultimately marched toward extinction through the corruption, through gold, and the decay of spirit, leaving an eternal warning for posterity.